Top 10 best fragrances of all time. Hello everybody, welcome to Mehdi's channel. If you're first time here, my name is Mehdi. I'm talking about fragrances and related stuff. Please don't forget, subscribe the channel to get notifications by my new uploads I upload every day. Let's see the fragrances. Before starting the main list, I have one honorable mention here from House of Bentley. Bentley for Man Intense. One of the best cheapies ever made, in my opinion. It is a love for me, but I can see why somebody hate this fragrance. It is love and hate fragrance, mostly in the love side. It is not usual smelling type of fragrance. It is like alcoholic, boozy smelling, leather, resins, and slightly smokes and sweetness. Sweetness here is not like added sweetness sugar. It is like sweetness in the cinnamon, in the spices, in the cardamom and tonka. Undertone sweetness, I can say. Performance is very great. 10-12 hours plus by big projection on CH for first 2-3 hours. And the most important factor, price. 25 bucks, 30 bucks maximum for 100 ml. Let's start the list by House of Jean Paul Gaultier, King Le Male. Oh, a masterpiece. Smell it again, I missed it. This herbal fragrance, it is not like citrusy, fresh type of fragrance. This is herbal and I can catch spices. Spices gives to this fragrance oriental atmosphere, and that herbals stands in a fougere side, like lavender based. So in the brief, I can say atmosphere of this fragrance is herbal, spicy, fougere, oriental. That lavender, basil, and mint gives to this fragrance a very fougere deep vibe, and those like cardamom and cinnamon gives to this fragrance a bit more, I can say, western type of oriental vibe, because it is wearable, not that much aggressive. By undertone sweetness, which is not like synthetic sweetness, is like sweetness of cinnamon. In this fragrance is available. Scent profile of this fragrance is very unique, very memorable. By current formulations, I can get like 6 hours. If I overspray it and apply it on clothing, I can get up to 8 hours. But before formulations was like 1-2 puff, 12 hours plus. Still great, still gets the job done, still gets great amount of compliments for me, especially from ladies. Le Male by Jean Paul Gaultier. Let's continue by House of Dolce & Gabbana, easily at top 5 best fragrances from this house. Dolce & Gabbana the one EDP. There is also EDT version of this fragrance. I prefer this one over that in terms of scent profile, performance, compliments, ladies reactions. Winner is for me EDP. Scent profile is like oriental spicy. I can get some hint of booziness at the back and sweetness. Sweetness is like sweetness of cinnamon, cinnamony type of sweetness, and cardamom, ginger, basil are main players in this fragrance. There is also tobacco in the note breakdowns, which I cannot catch it at all in this fragrance. I cannot. Performance is like 5 to 6 hours plus on the skin. I can get good 5 hours by average projection. It's like a strong skin scent. You wanna get better reactions from ladies. This is lady pleaser type of fragrance. Guys at all don't like this fragrance. Who cares? This is hands down one of my most complimented fragrances from ladies. Dolce & Gabbana the one EDP. Let's continue by House of Paco Rabanne, King 1 million. Still great, still gets the job done. Look at this beautiful scent profile. I like dry down better, but opening is also great as well. At the opening you can get some freshness of citruses, but at the dry down it's not like that. It's like leathery, woody and cinnamony. Performance is like 6-7 hours on the skin, not like before versions 12 hours plus. I can say good 6 hours by good projection for first hour and average projection for second hour. You're gonna get 2 hours projection out of this bottle, and one of must-haves in any man collection. Still lady pleaser, still compliment getter, still gets the job done. Let's continue by House of Dior, Dior Sauvage. I am sure at least one time you have smelled this fragrance or similar fragrances to this one. Very copied, inspired and successful type of fragrance. Smells like citrusy, lavendery and peppery. Very dry by tons of ambroxan at the base. It is very dry and in the same time fresh type of fragrance. Still compliment getter, still performer. I prefer EDT version of this fragrance over EDP and Parfum, but for fall winter I prefer better Parfum version of this fragrance. This one is also all season round type of fragrance, but shines better at the spring and summer. About performance, I can get easily 10 hours plus by EDT, 12 hours plus by EDP. Parfum is not that great performer for whatever reason, and projection is big for first hour Average for second and third hour, so 3 hours projection, and last on my clothing like 2-3 days. Dior Sauvage. Let's continue by one of most polite smelling fragrances in my collection, Sir Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum, gentleman in a bottle. In the brief, I smell citrusy, creamy, incensey. Citruses are not effervescent like bergamot, it's like grapefruit. This is also a round type of citrusy, not summer springy. Incense and creamy. Creamy meaning of body lotion, not milky, and incense note. Incense will shine after half an hour, 1 hour bigger on your skin, so don't overspray this fragrance because of that freshness of the opening. At the dry down will be incensey and more aggressive compared to opening. At all it is not that much aggressive, but in the dry down is more aggressive compared to opening. Very great fragrance for indoor situations, not that powerful for outdoors, all season round, especially for dates, movies, office. 10 out of 10, one of my most complimented fragrances in entire my collection. Bleu de Chanel Eau de Parfum. Let's continue by House of Prada at number 5 spot, one of the best summer freshy fragrances and one of the best floral fragrances for men. It smells very luxury and sexy. So if you are not into floral and sweet fragrances, this one is absolutely not for you, but sweetness and florals are not that much overwhelming. I like it. I'm not also into that much floral fragrances, but this one is another story. I really love the way that this fragrance smells. Man, look at this fragrance. Mostly summer fragrances are in two main groups, aquatic, citrusy fragrances. This is in none of those groups. That's why it stands out. It is floral, powdery and sweet, but enough fresh for spring and summer. It is a very successful fragrance, has a lots of important factors, performance, compliments, price, all is 10 out of 10. I can get 10 hours plus out of this bottle for this scent profile, this airy and transparent scent profile. It's a very successful time, and projection is big but not intensely. This is like a big cloud around of you, and one of my most complimented fragrances, especially from ladies in entire my life. Let's continue by House of Yves Saint Laurent at number 4 spot. King La Nuit de l'Homme. This is 200 ml, my big backup bottle, because I overspray this fragrance right now by current formulations, and I can get something near before formulations performance out of this bottle. You're gonna get 5 hours out of newer formulations if you apply it on clothing and you do it a bit 5-6 sprays more. You can have it good 7 hours by first 1.5 hours average projection. Before formulations was like except summer all season round, but this formulation is for me except winter all season round. Let's continue by House of Giorgio Armani Acqua di Gio Profumo at number 3 spot. To my nose, this fragrance is herbal and aquatic by hint of citruses at the back. Main players are herbs here, like sage, rosemary, hint of some florals, and at the opening you can get some citrusiness, but at the dry down it is incensey and herbal and slightly green type of fragrance. It is one of the best performer fragrances in the line of Acqua di Gio. Lasts on me like 10-12 hours plus. You can get 2.5 hours up to 3 hours projection out of this bottle. First hour is good, push is good, but at second and third hour is like near to your area. Complementing factor, price, scent profile, performance, everything is 10 out of 10 about this fragrance. Acqua di Gio Profumo. At number 2 spot of top 10 best fragrances of all time, without no doubt, Creed Aventus. My flacon is 2017 batch. It is a very well balanced batch. It's not that citrusy, not that smoky. I don't want to talk about this fragrance very unfairly because of reformulations. 95% of my collection has been reformulated without any doubt, but I don't want just push on Aventus because of reformulations. Scent profile is citrusy and woody. In some batches it is more woody, in some batches it is more fruity. Some love more fruity batches, some love more smoky batches. I like smokier batches better. About performance, I can get good 6 hours longevity out of this batch on the skin by first hour projection. After that is a strong skin scent and extremely long lasting on clothing, like 5-6 days. Except price and performance, everything is 10 out of 10 about Creed Aventus, one of most successful copied inspired fragrances in history of perfumery, without no doubt. At number 1 spot, at the top of the best fragrances of all time, for me, from House of Amouage Reflection Man, one of the best floral based fragrances for men, hands down. It is floral, spicy, slightly herbal and creamy. I can get 12 hours plus out of this batch. Vintage batches was like nuclear, but this one is okay, 10-12 hours plus. It is more than okay, but compared to the before formulations, I mean. Scent profile is very unique, shares some similarities by Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male, but it is next level. It opens another page. You have to smell it yourself. In terms of getting compliments, one of the best in entire my collection, especially from ladies, Amouage Reflection Man. Don't forget subscribe the channel if you enjoyed the video. I hope you did. Give a thumbs up, it means a lot for me. Let me know your thoughts on the fragrances in the comments below. Stay safe. See you in another video.